Hello, Sophie Uliano here with Tips Tuesday. And this Tuesday, my healthy tip, I give you one every Tuesday, is about sugar, or rather how to avoid sugar. Because sugar is super addictive for many people. It is and can be as addictive as smoking or even crack cocaine, depending on your level of sensitivity to sugar. Now, in my Gorgeous for Good 30-day program, I recommend for 30 days that you give up, among other things, sugar. Sugar is a very, very important thing. And it's proving to be quite difficult for a lot of women. A lot of you out there are beginning to prepare yourselves for my program. What am I going to have to give up? Let me start, trying this out so that I can hit the ground running. By the way, if you haven't already, please pre-order a copy of my book, Gorgeous for Good. The link is below the video. So let's get back to this sugar thing. I really want to help you. I want to set you up for success because sugar does you no favors. Obviously, we all know that it packs on unwanted pounds, but it's very, very bad for your immune system, and cancer cells feed off sugar. That, these little things are enough to know that it's really something that we shouldn't be eating. Now, sugar comes in many different guises and many different forms. And frankly, whether it's honey, maple syrup, agave, whatever kind of sweetener it is, unless it's stevia or monk fruit, if it's one of those kind of sweeteners, it is going to have that effect of spiking your blood sugar. And that's what we really, really don't want, because that's what sets up a chain reaction of all these things that leads to ill health and leads to you not feeling good. So that's why I recommend cutting it out 100%, because I will tell you something. Here's the little secret, and listen up carefully. If you give up sugar completely, after 2 weeks, some people it's 1 week, some people it's 2 weeks, you will stop craving it completely. You're over that hump, and then you're just free of it. So that's the secret. Don't give up before you get to the victory. And when you get to that victory, it feels amazing. So I just want to give you a couple of little tips to help you on your way. And these tips I've sort of formulated in response to what I've seen people go through. The first thing is you must be prepared. So if you know that you're going somewhere, out to a restaurant, a birthday party, somewhere where you know that there's going to be sugary snacks and there's going to be temptation, make sure that you are prepared in that you know what you can have instead and you plan for that. So here's an example. You know you're going to a restaurant with girlfriends. You know that everybody's going to have desserts or share a dessert, have a spoon each afterwards. You know that if you have that, it's not going to make you feel good and you're breaking your no sugar deal. So take with you, here's a great tip. I take a little tea bag. I know it sounds okay, it's not a dessert, but it does work. Your favorite tea bag that tastes really good. I like hibiscus tea because it's slightly sweet. When the server comes, I ask for a pot of hot water or a mug of hot water. I steep, very quietly my tea bag, and while everybody else is guzzling on all that sugar, that's not going to make them feel great. I promise you, an hour later, you can sip on your tea and you know that it's health-giving and it's going to make you feel amazing. You could also take, if you want, if it's not a restaurant, obviously, make sure that you've got your little sugar-free snacks with you. So number one, be prepared. Number two tip is think it through. So imagine you're at that birthday party, kid's birthday party, and suddenly a huge chocolate cake comes out, or a bunch of cupcakes, or you're at an office party or a birthday office party. And I've seen this happen so many times, and it's happened to my husband. He's like, but it just appeared, this cake, and I had one slice, and I'm feeling awful and sluggish and terrible, and I don't feel like eating dinner. Okay, so here's what you do. You stop for a minute, you pause, you take a breath, and you think it through. And this is how you think it through. How am I going to feel if I eat that whole piece of cake or that muffin or that cupcake? How am I going to feel afterwards? So you think it through and you think, okay, I've eaten it and I might feel good for a minute. There's that sweet sensation in my mouth. I have like a momentary high, which sugar sometimes gives you, like a few seconds. And then I'm not going to feel good. I'm going to feel sluggish, not good. Plus, it sets off that chain reaction. Sugar always does. One is never enough, and that's it, basically. One is never enough. You're going to have that one thing, and then it's going to be, oh my gosh, I'm going to crave the next bit of sugar, because it spikes your blood sugar, and just as much as it spikes, it comes down again. And it's not your fault, but your body is going to crave the next piece of sugar, right? So those are the tips. be prepared and think it through. Just carry those 2 tips for you. And please leave comments underneath this video, because I understand this is a struggle for a lot of women, and I'm just passionate about getting you healthier and having you feel better about yourself. I want that more than anything. So if you're having difficulty and if you need a little bit of support, and maybe we, the community, or I can help you, just leave a comment and know that it's normal to crave sugar. Unfortunately, there's so much of it around and it's just everywhere, and we eat way too much of it. So that's it. I'll be back next Tuesday with another Tips Tuesday.